On today's video, we discuss some reserve list cards that you might want to think about buying. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. You found me on this crazy nacho cheese universe ride of YouTube. I hope you guys enjoyed my content today. Hope you stuck around. You put a comment in the comment section. You put a little dibble dabble. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. Let other people know. Support the channel. Hit that subscribe button. It is free to do. Doesn't cost anything, and it helps this channel grow bigger each and every day as we approach that goal of 7,500 subscribers and the pizza party. A little live stream action, and then of course the 10,000 subscriber main goal. We're going to get there this year, I'm positive. Thank you everyone who's been helping support the channel. You guys are awesome. Can't wait to see us there for the 10K party. Details at 9K. Nothing yet, but details at 9K. It's going to be awesome. So before we get started, a reminder that I'm not a financial advisor. I have no financial bringing behind me. I got no acumen. I got no schooling behind it. I just collect and hoard cardboard. Don't take advice from me. This is purely for entertainment purposes only. But if these are reserve list cards you're looking for, I do track a lot of them, and when I notice price decreases, I like to bring that to my viewership to let them know in case it's a card they're after. If they're looking for it for a set collection, maybe they want to upgrade from a heavily played to a near mint. I like to let this news fall out. So let's go ahead and take a look at some cards that have been falling in price, but might be the perfect time to pick up before the next major buyout. Let's go ahead and take a look at card number one, and that is going to be Kudzu from Revised Edition. This torturous little card was a brutal enchantment back in the day. 2 green, 1 other. You put on a land, and then you tap that land. It destroys that land, but you get to pass the Kudzu to somebody else's land. So you and your opponent go back and forth. Destroying people's lands was just cruel, but it happened all the time. And there were ways to set yourself up to make sure you always have more land than your opponent. It was brutal. Great enchantment card, a lot of fun. Now, locally, this card is $4 Canadian near mint. It's not an expensive card right now. But the sales have been increasing as the price has fallen, so I want to make people aware of it. Now, the average price is $4.49 US. The market comes in at around $3.78 US for this card, and €4.34 to grab this card. Now, the thing I found interesting, $4 Canadian for near mint, but the unlimited copies, there was no near mint, but there was some moderately played for like $5.50, $6 locally. That's pretty an insignificant price to grab an unlimited copy of this card. That's pretty cheap. So it's something to keep in mind. Why not, if you get a chance, there's nothing wrong with spending an extra $1.50 to get an unlimited copy, which had such, like compared to Revised, the print run was so much lower, you just can't go wrong. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking for this card, just to build an enchantment deck, to add it to a commander deck for fun, to mess around with people, especially in a big team game like that. This is a card you might as well just go for the unlimited copy, pitch in an extra $1.50, get the card, be done. The sales, like I said, are high though. So as this card has fallen from that high of 10, 11 bucks, it's been drifting down, but the sales are increasing in the last, I'd say like 2 weeks now. It's had a real upswing, so I want to make people aware of that. Now, it can be played in Commander, Vintage, Legacy, Kitchen Table Magic, and of course, Old School. A brutal card that has high efficiency when used properly, and there are ways of bringing it back too. So, if you know, the good old days of Skull of Orm and stuff, bringing it back, a lot of fun. Kudzu, way to go. Very cheap card for what it does. Something to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and take a look at card number 2, and that is going to be Cyclopian Tomb. Now, 2 things to mark on this card. This is why I'm putting this video up on Tuesday right away. This card, just so you guys know, people have been buying it. It's been disappearing. The sales are high and it shouldn't be. So somebody out there is buying this card and picking up copies ever since around Christmas time. Locally, you can find this card for $200 Canadian, moderately played. The average price, though, is $244.99 US. The market's $300, and it's €127 to get you that card. Format, Vintage, Legacy, Old School, Kitchen Table, Commander, of course. What's brutal about this card is that it changes things into Swamp. It is a mono artifact, but there's ways of untapping it, making it happen again. You got to keep your eye on cards like this. They've been so underrated for so long. People take for granted that this card is at this price. But with a market as fragile as this, where it's only been Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, and Collector Edition, International Edition, those are the only places you're going to find this card. And it's got iconic artwork. Like, come on, this stuff is epic. You got to keep an eye on a card like this. it should be a $500 card, and it's not yet, but it's going to go there sooner or later. Pay attention to little things like this. If it's a card you need, then you might want to get it before it's gone. If it's a card you never thought about, don't just buy into the hype. Make sure it's a card you actually desire. You don't just buy it because it's up here and it looks flashy and beautiful. Are you going to use a card like this? You got to take those things into account before you go ahead and start buying them. But it's interesting, the card's a little underpriced right now, but somebody's been moving on it ever since Christmas on things like TCG Player. eBay has had several sales. It's just unusual market turns for a card like this, so I'm just letting people know in case it's one of these mini pump and dump buyout schemes going on. Keep an eye on Cyclopian Tomb if you don't have one. You might be able to find it cheaper in Collector Edition or International Edition if you just want a copy to play with, but keep an eye on it, okay? Let's go ahead and take a look at our next card today, and that is going to be Copy Artifact, another card that has been falling in price, and the good news is the sales are steady. I like when the sales are not high. It means the card will probably still keep falling, and nobody's grabbing it right now. Now, the cheapest I could find in Canada was $88, okay, for a moderately played copy. But if you go on TCG Player, they have some copies for $52, $53 lightly played, okay, on TCG. Good deals, man. And don't forget, you can use my TCG link. If you're going to buy it, you might as well kick me back a little bit and use my link from my description. Now, the average price is $84.98. The market is $73.38. And, of course, €70 and 1 cent to get you that card. Commander, Vintage, Old School, Legacy, Kitchen Table. Remember, this thing copies artifacts. Copying a Chaos Orb. Copying Moxes. Copying a Lotus. There are lots of reasons to have a copy artifact. They've used cards like Mirror Maid and other things to try to copy the ability of it, but it's never quite the same, is it? It's just not. Copy Artifact is one blue, one other. It's just a card that almost any old blue deck is going to have. And there's lots of formats it can be played in, so pay attention to cards like this. When it dips this low, somebody is going to start taking notice. If it goes down another 5-10 points, people are going to buy it. I remember the first time it got bought out and it jumped way over the $150, $200 mark. It happened all at once. It'll do the same thing again. And if you're going to get a copy, look for the near mint copy. Spend an extra few bucks. You won't regret it because collectors will go after near mint ones first when they do their set and collection buyings later in life. So, amazing card, something to keep an eye on, okay? I'm not saying you have to jump out and buy it now. I'd like to see it fall a little bit further, but the further it falls, the more enticing it is for some of the bigger whales out there to grab all the copies they can, and they'll do it all at once. They won't be waiting for you to pick up your copy. So, our next card up is Dwarf Pony. That's right, I put a Dwarf Pony up on the board from Homelands because I want to bring a point up here. It's $4 Canadian near mint. The average is $2.50 US. The market's $1.39 US. And, of course, €2 and 41 cents to get that card. Formats are Commander, Legacy, Vintage, Old School, Kitchen Table, Magic. Sales are steady. The price is falling. Interesting. Let's look at the Dwarf Pony. It's kind of a joke, but let's look at it. This is a pony that costs 1 red for a 1/1. Okay, well that's very nice. That's not a horrible thing back in the day. Okay, not the worst ability. It's like a Mons Goblin Raider and stuff. It's a 1/1. I get it. But its ability. Target dwarf gains Mountain Walk until end of turn for 1 red, 1 other. There was not a ton of dwarves in the old school stuff, but there were some. And in the older decks and in certain commander decks, where you can build dwarves now with tribal support from things like Kaldheim, from the dwarf that just came out in the recent set who like gives all the guys +2. There's enough support out there that cards like this could catch on. It actually could hit the $10, $12 mark at some point because tapping to give your guy Mountain Walks that can't be blocked in a commander game can be lethal, and people will underestimate the poor pony. Just something to think about, just something that mulls over my head sometimes. When I look at that card, I go, for the time, for now even, it's not the worst card. It's a blocker. It's a 1/1 blocker. But on top of blocking, its ability to make creatures have Mountain Walk can just be, so mean in the right build of a deck. Put some dwarves in there, a little tribal support, get some Kaldheim Berserkers in there. You see where I'm going with this? It just could be some Dwarven Clerics from like D&D and stuff, or from some of the other sets. You just don't know where it's going to lead. Brunar, Battlehammer, crazy stuff you could do when used in the correct way. Very interesting. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the last card today, and that is going to be Demonic Hordes. I like this card. Okay, I really do. I keep a near mint one somewhere in my background. You'll probably see it there. I bought a near mint one for $18. Okay, near mint. Because I wanted to get one. I remember using it as a kid. I loved it. Blowing up lands is just hilarious. So Demonic Hordes from Revised Edition is $15 Canadian near mint right now. The average is $10.13 US. The market is $8.87 US, and it's €9.34 to get you that card. Now, the formats are Commander, Legacy, Vintage, Old School, Kitchen Table Magic. The sales are high. Even though this card is falling in price, the sales have remained high. It's going to turn around at some point. I wish it would go a little bit lower so I could get a full playset of Near Mint. But I want you to realize what this card is. It's a land destruction card that can target any land. It can target any land. Destroy target land. Yes, it has 3 black upkeep, but it is 6 for a 5/5, which was pretty darn good back in the day. And when used in an unexpected commander deck, red-black with some land destruction, doing things you don't expect people to do, like flash fire, you see what I'm talking about? You can mess people up in the most unusual ways when they're not expecting it. And for such a cheap, fun price, that's why I'm saying, like, I'm hoping to get 3 more. I can see why people might find it enjoyable. Like I said, as the price is falling, people are buying the card more often. It is getting picked up more. It's just something to keep an eye out in case it's a card you're after. I just find this stuff just fascinating sometimes to see how cards can go up and down, and then they realize how good the card is, and it just shoots through the roof. So let me just recap this out. A card like Demonic Hordes. All right, I only have 1 near mint. I have 2 heavily played that are in decks. But when it falls this low, and I know it's a reserve list card, I do like to let people know. Dwarf Pony, all these cards, some of them have higher sales than others, so they're going down, but the sales are picking up, which means it's going to rebound faster. But when you see a steady sale, a slower sale, or if it's a card you want for a commander deck, or something you're building or thinking about, when prices drop this low, it might be the time for you to pick it up. Only you can decide that. Don't take my advice. I'm just putting the information out there about the prices and possible, concepts for what these cards could be. But you never know when they're going to become broken. And that's why I like to at least have a playset. That's my mentality. Get a playset of cards, right? When they fall to the right price that you think is affordable. Because even these prices may not be low enough for you. You might want them to drop even further. You want rock bottom basement. I understand that entirely. But I love the cards. I like the idea of some of these guys. And with every new card they print, new tribal support, new abilities come into play, new ways of using the cards faster. Love that stuff. So everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. Have a wonderful day today. And hey, you made it to the end of the video. Yay! What can I say, man? It's a silly day. Have a great one. And of course, a big shout out to each and every one of my amazing patrons on the channel. Thanks a lot for that continued support you guys show each and every day. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope the viewership enjoys the content. But patrons, the viewers, you guys make things go around. Thanks again. I'll see you on the live stream. That's right. I said Brunar Battlehammer today in a video with a Dwarf Pony. He's riding along. So why don't we put him, huh? Brunar Battlehammer is going in the box. I know. He's getting locked away. He's going in the box because you never know what's going to happen. And that's what I love about this game. It is constantly changing. Guys, have a great day today. You made it to the end of the video. Put a boomstick in that comment section if you made it this far. Because this is the end. This is the real end. Not the Matrix style, like the real end. Have a great one, man.